Hello, everybody. I can see people joining. I'm just gonna pop everybody onto mute if it'll let me. There we go. It's getting there. Unmuting everybody bit by bit. Just helps so that everybody can hear clearly. There we go. Sorted, and I've let everybody in. Right. Well, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
I haven't managed to mute everybody. I tried, didn't I, Lorraine? I tried. Let's go. Right, we're there. Sorted. Right. Just in case you didn't know, I'm Nichola McLeod. I'm a coach, a mentor, a team builder, and I just love to support people to reach their full potential. I've got over 25 years experience in business as a senior executive in the corporate world and also as a self-employed entrepreneur. But tonight we're going to have a look at how you think how you think about confidence, giving practical and even some science-based techniques to help you step into your most confident self. So the title of the call is Confidence Unlocked, and that's what we're going to be doing this evening. So if you've got any comments that you want to make, pop them in the chat box. It's really easy to access, and I'll have a glance in there from time to time. But we're going to start off with some truths about confidence, okay? And really, I want to get into some myth busting because I think there's a lot of myths about confidence out there before we even get started, right? So number one for me on the myth busting is that confidence isn't a personality trait. I do think that's the biggest myth that people have convinced themselves. Oh, it's okay for you. You're so confident. I just lack confidence. And here's a real truth bomb for you. Confidence is just a skill that anybody can develop. That means if at this present moment in time you lack confidence, it is something with practice that you can develop. It's not something that you're either born with or without. So that's my first myth. Okay. My second one is I think that frequently people think that being confident means that you're an extrovert or you have to be an extrovert in order to be confident. Being loud, or even being like totally and utterly fearless. If you're confident, you have no fears, right? Someone who is frequently told, oh my God, you are so confident. I can assure you that I'm a total and utter introvert, right? Got loads of fears. There's loads of things that scare the bejesus out of me. Okay, I admit sometimes I can be a bit loud, right? So maybe that one is a bit me. The other two, absolutely not. What confidence is, real confidence, is trusting yourself to handle whatever happens. By the end of this session, I'm hoping that you'll have some powerful tools to help you to unlock your confidence, no matter where it is right now. So there's a couple of things that might be holding you back. Let's just have a little chat about those first of all. See if any of these resonate with you as an individual. I think lots of people think that you need to have confidence before you start something new, before you get going with something new. But confidence is the thing that you need first of all. And it isn't true, you know. Confidence comes from your actions. You don't feel confident before you start. You feel confident because you started doing something. I also think, I mentioned it a moment ago on those myths. People think that some people are born confident. And if that's not you, then you're just never going to have any. Confidence is built, it's not inherited. And what studies have shown that even the most self-assured people have trained themselves to think that way. I thought the third one, that confidence means that people don't have any doubts. Confident people have the same number of fears and doubts. They just move forward anyway because they have trust in themselves that they're gonna be able to make a path through this for themselves. And I wanted to share a real life example for you. Okay. I think my YouTube channel is a perfect example of this, right? If you've not checked it out, it's just my name, Nichola McLeod, on YouTube. You'll find me. Loads of different content in there. I knew I wanted or that I needed to start a YouTube channel. I knew nothing about it. I really lacked confidence in having a YouTube channel. I was worried that I'd do it wrong, that I'd make a fool of myself. But I've used some of the techniques that I'm going to share with you this evening. I took action. And now I'm confident in YouTube and even coach other people how to build their own YouTube channel. All because trusted myself to be able to take the right steps to be able to get there with practice, with failures, with all those things. I know you can do it too. Confidence is a decision, not a feeling. You decide to act and then the feeling follows. Sounds great, doesn't it? Let's talk about unlocking confidence, though. I'm going to take you through four really powerful and slightly unconventional techniques that I have no doubt might make you squirm a little bit. Trust me, these have worked for me. Absolutely brilliant. So let's get going with the first one. The first one we're calling the anti-script method. So this is going to help you with social or work confidence, okay? I want you to, just to yourself, stick your hand up. If you happen to overthink things or spend a long time over preparing, right? This is the biggest confidence killer out there. The whole scripted conversation is the easiest way that you're ever going to find to make sure that you have zero confidence. All right? Zero confidence here. What's interesting, right, is if you switch this on its head a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to work on having a mindset of curiosity. Instead of rehearsing what you're going to say in a meeting or a social situation, the thing I want you to say to yourself is, I don't actually need perfect words. I just need to be present and to be curious. Okay? Present and curious. Now, another question for you is this, right? Anyone recognise this cheeky chappy? I'll repeat the words again. I don't need perfect words for this situation. I just need to be present and curious. I love it when someone plays along. Thank you, Sarah. It's Curious George. This is who you need to be, right? And I deliberately picked the silly monkey because I just thought, you know what? You can get that picture of I just need to be curious, George. That's all I need to be. I need to be present in the moment and I need to be curious. When you stop trying to be perfect, when you relax, you connect better with people, and you know what? You naturally appear more confident. You will be amazed at the difference it makes, not planning out how the whole interaction's going to go. Just find yourself when your mind starts going down that route of planning things, just repeat to yourself, I don't need to be perfect. Just need to be present and curious. And if you want a giggle, add George on the end, right? I just need to be curious, George. And that's the anti-script method. It's just about stopping yourself from thinking about every little bit that you can overthink and just say, I just need to go into this situation being present and being curious. So the second one that we're going to look at is inner coach versus inner critic. Now, this is going to help you to build self-trust, okay? Most people have quite a loud inner critic. And what do I mean by this inner critic? It's that voice inside your head, okay, that says phrases like, you're not good enough, you're going to fail, they're going to laugh at you. Now, to build your confidence, you need to train your inner coach to respond to that inner critic. And how do you do that? Next time you hear one of those phrases come into your head in whatever voice you hear, you need to say, if I heard my best friend say that, what would I say? Or I speak to somebody else the way I'm speaking to myself. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes. You're going to practice speaking to yourself with compassion and encouragement, right? To yourself. Really compassionate. It's going to train your brain to be more confident. And I tell you what, right? I seriously promise you, with a lot of practice on this one, you will see a remarkable difference. Years ago, and I'm talking, oh my God, like really is probably 25 years ago, right? I had the most negative inner voice that ever could exist. I never said anything positive inside my head about myself. But I have worked relentlessly on finding that inner coach. Now I find it's really, really rare that that inner critic pops up. When it does, it's so easy for my little cheerleading coach to jump in and say, what are you talking about? You've got this. I trust you. Those conversations inside your head are typically powerful. If you can start identifying when that inner critic pops up, you're going to make absolute magic by coaching and cheerleading that critic out of the way. It really is a powerful technique. Our third technique, confidence anchoring. Now, this is going to be one that you love or hate. I'll tell you that right now. So, confidence is a state, or like a physical state, not just mindset. So, contrary to other things that are mindset based, this isn't about faking it until you make it. You can actually anchor your confidence using a physical trigger. So, I'm going to talk you through the steps on how you can actually do this. Say 3 steps to it. It's not difficult, okay? Step. I want you to have a little think about a time that you felt incredibly confident. I want you to remember every detail that you can about that moment. What were you wearing? How were you standing physically? What could you see? What could you hear? What did you feel? Think about all of those details in that moment that you felt confident. As you remember that moment, I want you to do something physical, like press your thumb and finger together, squeeze your hand into a fist, or just do a little tap on your wrist. Something, I said you'll either love this or hate this, something physical in that moment of all of those emotions that you can remember. Step 3, repeat this every day, okay? Repeat this, remembering those feelings and those emotions and what it felt like until that physical trigger instantly recalls that confident state. Now, why on earth would this work? Okay, it's based on NLP, neuro linguistic programming. Not that easy to say. Did you know that your body and brain form associations? They aren't aware of them most of the time, but that doesn't mean that they are not happening. I mean, you're not aware of making your heart beat right now. That doesn't mean that it's not beating, does it? So just because you're not aware of something Doesn't mean that your brain's not doing something physical. With lots of repetition, you can access that confident feeling on demand. Give it a try, not once. It won't work once. These things are repetition, okay? Now, our fourth one that we're going to have a look at, alter ego. Come up with that. There's just brilliant names for these things, aren't they? Sometimes stepping into confidence can feel a bit unnatural. And this alter ego method I found, it was developed by a performance coach called Todd Herman. And it helps you just to basically bypass that self-doubt by embodying a confident persona. So why does that work? So athletes, performers, CEOs, they use this technique all of the time. They use it to step into their best selves without overthinking. It separates who you feel you are from who you need to be in that moment. So, 3 steps here. Again, I don't like to do any more than 3 because it gets a bit complicated and we forget it. Number 1, somebody, they can be real or they can be fictional. It's not important. Who really represents the confidence that you'd like to have. I've got a picture up here of Beyonce. And she channels Sasha Fierce when she's on stage. Okay, this is her. So, and no, I'm not doing the dance. All right. Once you've got the idea of that person in your mind, you need to define their traits. So, what do I mean by that? Is it that they walk? How do they talk? How do they act? Gee, do they bring to the room? Before you get to your next challenging situation, mentally step into that persona that you thought about. Even a physical trigger can help here. Standing taller, wearing a confident item, it really helps to reinforce this mindset. I've said it already, confidence isn't about faking it. It's about activating a version of yourself that's already there. It helps you to overcome your fears, because we all have fears, and step into a bolder, more fearless state. I'm going to give you an example of where this absolutely blew my mind and I discovered it accidentally, right? In um in a previous role, I had to do some presenting on stage in front of like an audience of 700 people. And I'm like, oh my God, like everyone, as per usual, you're so confident, Nicola, you'll be fine. Well, I wasn't, right? I wasn't fine. I was shaking, my legs were wobbling, I couldn't remember my name, all those feelings. And there was a role model, right, who was on before me, somebody I looked up to, who was so confident on stage. As I was stood behind the stage on the day, we'd done rehearsals and all that stuff, and I'm really like winding myself up to nerves here. I watched her take a few drops of rescue remedy before going on stage. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's not something like I particularly heard of, but apparently it's a magic little drops that rid of anxiety or whatever. She went on stage, confident as ever. And I thought to myself, right, thought, if I put a couple, she left the drops behind stage, right? A couple of drops of those on my tongue, I'm actually putting drops of her confidence onto my tongue and I'm going to be amazing. I'm going to be absolutely amazing. So I did, right? Put a couple of drops on my tongue. I walked out on the stage and I didn't die, right? Which, as far as I was concerned, was totally amazing. You know what? Never used rescue remedy since because I didn't need to. Because I discovered in that moment that it was the mindset of stepping into that persona so much more than what those little drops did. It was just actually, I'm channeling the inner confidence of this person. I'm there. It makes such a difference. I honestly give this one a go if you find yourself in a challenging situation. It's absolutely amazing. So there's the 4 steps that I wanted to take you through this evening. But confidence isn't about never feeling fear. Do you think that a lot of people think it is? It's about acting despite of your fear. And the only way that you're going to become more confident is for you to practice. Because confidence is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So I do have a 7-day challenge for you. For the next 7 days, I've got a PDF that's got a different thing for you to do each and every day. You don't have to do it, but if you give it a go, you might be surprised the difference in that muscle, right? Just from 7 days worth of exercising the muscle. So, question for you. What's one thing that you think that you'll do this week to build your confidence of the 4 different things that I've suggested? If you'd like to take on the 7-day challenge, all you need to do is drop me an email and I will fling you over the PDF before the end of the week. Might be tomorrow, but I like to say before the end of the week because then I know that I'm not gonna under deliver on that one. It's my email address, Nichola at Beauty of Success, and I will reply with that challenge. Our next session, next Monday, is going to be entitled Time Management for Busy People. So a real different gear change. We've done 2 that have been really mindset, first of all, confidence now, time management next week. So I hope you found it really useful. Thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening. If you haven't managed to catch all of it, because I've seen some people dropping on and off just because of the signals that they've got, the recording should be up tomorrow on my YouTube channel. I will share the link with everybody. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining. Take care now. Bye.